Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I had to have the Emirates Stadium in the background there. Catch the badge and all of that, man. Fucking hell. North London derby, Tottenham got to put in a spliff, bruv. Got to put in an absolute blunt. Fuck that. They got to put in a vaporizer. You know them new ones? All of that. Yeah. And the worst thing about it is we didn't even get, honestly, I don't feel like we really got out of third gear. I felt like that was just a job done. I felt like it was literally a case of this turn up away from home, 3 points onto the next one, man. That's the level of progression that this team has made. That we've gone from this 14 or 17-year hoodoo where we haven't beat Tottenham, right? Away from home. I might be over egging it a little bit. I probably need to chillax. I think we beat them in 2014 April time with Thomas Rosicky with a winning goal. So okay, maybe not 14 years. Let me chill out. But 10 years, right? The best part of a decade. And so to turn up there and just slap them about, just light work, you know. Honestly, Arsenal players weren't even blowing a gasket. It was literally a case of just passing it about, controlling the possession. You got Zinchenko stepping in. You got Partey just marshalling the midfield, snuffing out any danger. Nearly pinged one in the top corner as well to score home and away. Home and away, bruv. Home and away like Howard Bishop, bro. All of them things. Yeah. We absolutely dominated them. Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left. We just fist them man up, bro. And even Air Ramsdale, do you know what I'm saying? Air Ramsdale, when he was called into action, he delivered the goods, bro. He delivered the goods like UPS, DHL, all of them. The Royal Mail, bro. Royal Ramsdale. Tottenham got absolutely slapped, bro. What are you gonna do now, bro? You got this manager on like 400 grand a week, yeah, and he's playing hard to get about staying. He's playing hard. Imagine you've got a gal, yeah, and she's fat, she's butters, she gives the deadest head, yeah. She's got the wackest pussy, bro. It's hitting like a 99p tub of hair gel, bro. You know them ones from Tesco and that, the value thing, bro. Yeah, and she's playing hard to get with you. I mean, you need to be showing him the door, bro. You guys are rubbish, bro. You're playing five at the back, two in defensive midfield. You got seven playing in defense, and you're holding two in the first half every game. Bruv, you were trying to pull one back in the second half. The only thing you man were pulling back was your foreskin. Yeah? You guys are rubbish, bro. You guys are not good. That's just what it is, bro. Where are your points clear? Love in life, bro. Shout out to all the Arsenal fans, man. Shout out to Frank Warren. Frank Warren, legendary British boxing promoter, also long-time Arsenal fan, Hertfordshire boy himself. He must be beating out his missus, boy. He's top of the tree again in the British promotional game. You know, he's got Tyson Fury, he's got Anthony Yard about to win a world title, fingers crossed on the 28th. And his team are back top of the league, man. Frank Warren must be hammering his misses, bruv. He must be hitting up some of them Hertfordshire sightings as well. Do you know what I mean? You know, like that. But listen, if you're not a football fan, you're a statistical anomaly because most boxing fans are also football fans. So if you're an Arsenal fan as well, salute. That little cameo was for you. But the main reason we're on here to talk is news coming out as expected for the lightweight undisputed title, Devin Haney having acquired that status against George Kambosos in Australia, back to back like Drake and Meek Mill. He's now looking to make his first fresh defense of the title against a different fighter in the former Vasily Lomachenko. For those of you that follow boxing politics, Lomachenko was originally the champion. There was a lot of email banter, should I say email champion banter going on with Devin Haney when Lomachenko was made the champion emeritus. And then Haney fought for that title and therefore was called the email champion. But, you know, at that point, Tiafimo relieved Loma of the titles and felt very much, and I feel, agree with that, that he was still undisputed. He was the real WBC champion, but technically Devin Haney could still argue that status. In the end, it came to nothing. Tio gave the belts away to George Kambosos in an unexpected result, albeit Tio was very drawn at the weight, and it came out after the fact that he had actually had a terrible chest infection, and he was really had no business being in the ring that night. He should have been in a hospital. So there's a bit of an asterisk around that Kambosos win, and then Haney comfortably washed that boy over 24 rounds. But now you're going to find out, I suppose, if you're following the politics, who the real man is at lightweight. Now, the thing that I'm struggling to get excited about this fight is that I feel like Lomachenko had peaked in 2019 against Luke Campbell at the O2. I was there ringside for that fight. And I said that Lomachenko was going to win on points. But Campbell, at some point, fighters get too big and too good. And I felt like Campbell was too big and too good for Lomachenko to dominate and get him out of there the way he had been doing. And that's exactly how it played out. I called Tio to beat Loma because I felt, again, too young, too fresh, too good, too powerful. He'll keep him on the outside. You know, obviously Loma, he had this thing, especially in those days, about wanting to download data for the first few rounds and then get guys out of there. Didn't work that night against Tio and lost a points decision as I predicted. And at this point in 2023, you know, if I thought 4 years ago that Loma had peaked at 135 and guys were going to be too big for him and too young, too fresh. Well, if we look at Devin Haney, it's an absolute myth how he's even making 140, right? That would have to apply to him, right? And Devin, with that style that he's got, that Mayweather-esque style, he grew up in Mayweather's doghouse gym in Las Vegas. He's a master in keeping distance and only engaging when he wants to engage. So a lot of the trickery that Lomachenko has to engage and the pivots around the side, which are absolutely beautiful to watch, right? And the two-fisted combinations and the feints to draw people in. I feel like for somebody that has such a disciplined style and focuses as much as on maintaining, defensive distance when it suits him and offensive distance when it suits him also, it's unlikely to fall into Lomachenko's traps. I think what's ideal for Lomachenko is a guy that wants to come forward and come to you, right, and bring it to you and then fall into Loma's traps. But if you do how Teofimo was able to do, which is to use his physical size and power to keep a guy at distance and keep him honest, but not overcommit, right, then it's difficult to actually make significant gains to win rounds clear or to even put a hurting on somebody. So I feel like, you know, with the height, with the reach, with the weight, Devin is not a massive puncher, but he can pop a little bit to keep guys honest. And probably just like the natural risk aversion of Devin Haney is going to be a comfortable fight. I'll be honest with you. It's not going to be a long analysis. I think Devin Haney wins it. I think Devin Haney wins it probably on points. I think there is the potential to get him out there. You know, Lomachenko at that age, there's always a risk of an injury and things like that. But if realistically, you know, Devin wasn't able to stop guys like Linares or Kambosos, he's probably not going to stop a man like Lomachenko. But I do think it's quite a comfortable win. I'm not super excited about it. I know, you know, the thing is that with lightweight, with 135, that was supposed to be the glamour division. Now, I understand that COVID might have messed things up a little bit, but I think the bigger issue, and this is a whole different topic, is just with all the different broadcasters, with DAZN, ESPN, Fox, Showtime, all clamoring to build their fiefdoms and maintain leverage over one another, you know, it's just been such a fantastic situation for managers and fighters to negotiate an incredible deal, because otherwise I'm going there and then they're owning the lightweight division. So because all the broadcasters want to own a piece of the lightweight division, right, managers and fighters have just been bending them over and saying, okay, well, if you want your piece of the lightweight division, how about this much? And so fighters are getting paid so much money to not really make the fights that we wanted to see. You know, I thought 4 or 5 years ago, Tio, Tank, Devin, Ryan, Loma, all of these guys were just going to be like doing a round robin, and like we'll see if the strong survives, but it hasn't really worked out like that. And I feel like, you know, the fights that have happened, they all have an asterisk around them. So to be honest, you know, let's get this fight out of the way. It looks like it's probably going to go to Dubai. And, you know, Devin more than likely wins. I think Loma probably has a swan song. If Loma does pull it out of the bag for you Ukrainian fans, and I apologize, I hold my hand up. You know, maybe the champion's got a last, you know, incredible performance in there to in his back pocket to pull out. But I think that's probably going to be a wrap. And then I'm more interested in seeing Devin move up to 140, right? And seeing it all go off at 140. You know, can we get Tio versus Devin, both on ESPN, both on Top Rank now? Can we see those guys go in against Regis Prograis? I think Josh Taylor, after he takes care of business against Jack Catterall, or win or lose, is going to move up. Personally, I think he should be moving up long before. I don't think he should have even fought Catterall in the first place, right? But Catterall is going to be there. You know, can he get into the mix? Honestly, I don't like the whole thing with fighters being weight bullies, and that's why, even though Devin, very skilled fighter, you know, deserves his props, I find it difficult to really jump on the bandwagon and support him just because I feel like he's a weight bully. You know, I'd rather just see fighters at their healthy, natural weight and willing to step in against the top guys at the right time, not just when they're washed. And the other thing is, I'm really not a fan of what Devin had to say when the first time this fight was supposed to happen. You know, echoing Bernard Hopkins' comments about Joe Calzaghe about I'll never lose to a white boy. You know, I feel like sport is something that's supposed to bring people together. And I also think there's a bit of a double standard in the media, whereas if that was to be said about a black fighter, we'd probably never see that fighter again, right? No, certainly not at the world title level, and certainly not for the money and the fanfare. But yeah, it's unfortunate that fighters will say that or things like that in sport context, and also the fans just seem to have short memories about it. But all that being said, you know, very talented fighter. Let's see if he can do the business and whether we can really light up 140. If Lomachenko can pull it out of the bag, it will be a great surprise. And, you know, I think maybe a video for another time is just how great Lomachenko was in his peak. I think when you're a balls-out fighter willing to fight anyone at any time, sometimes you don't necessarily get the props from a historical context because your record doesn't look as pretty. You know, if you're willing to fight the best fighters available at any one point in time, you're going to take your L here or there. Especially when you're finding out your weight class, which, to be honest with you, Lomachenko is. You know, his natural weight class is probably 130. But anyway, I'm rambling a little bit. I just wanted to get this out there. Peace.